Next is, as soon as you leave your institute and go and take up a job, all of you will be in, say, lower management level or something like that, where you will definitely have some subordinates. And you will find subordinates make mistakes. You will also make mistakes, subordinates will also make mistakes. So when a subordinate makes a mistake, one principle of life is don't criticize him in front of his colleagues. He'll be badly hurt. If you have to criticize him, you call him to your room, you meet him somewhere else, criticize him face to face. Don't criticize him in front of his colleagues. This has got a very negative impact on that subordinate. Difficult to follow, but if you can follow this in life, you will be very happy. Attach yourself so that you can detach easily. We will come to this first. Attachment may be with your institute, maybe with your parents, with your friends, with your girlfriend, anything, your boyfriend, anything it could be. Okay. Attach yourself so that you can detach easily. That means there should not be so much attachment that you are finding it difficult to detach. Ensure that at all times your attachment is such that you are able to detach easily. If you are too much attached and you detach, then you will find your life is miserable. You will always keep thinking about that. Your attachment and your normal life will be disturbed. Next is detach yourself. So once there is a need for detachment, you have attached yourselves, there is a need for detachment. Okay, tomorrow all of you will leave and go to different places. Detach yourself so that there is no attachment. After you have detached, okay, ensure that no attachment does not mean that you simply discard everything. Ensure that this earlier attachment does not disturb your present life. That there is no attachment after you detach. So that you are happy where you are, he is happy where he is. It does not mean you should not talk or you should not. This attachment should not disturb your normal life. That is the meaning of no attachment. This is also very easy. Do at least one act of kindness every day. It may be just an old man, you help him cross the road. Okay. Or your neighbor, I mean, you are going out to buy milk or something like that, help your neighbor buy the milk or vegetables or whatever it is, whatever you feel like. And you will find that every day you will get several opportunities to help others. And if you start doing that, you will find that one day when you need help, there will be 100 people who will be coming and willing to help you. Another philosophy to follow in life is hope for the best, be prepared for the worst. Okay, you may go and attend an interview. You would hope that you will get cleared in that or you will get selected there, but be prepared for the worst. Maybe you will not get selected. You write an exam, maybe you are hoping that you will pass, but maybe you will not pass. So be prepared for that, because otherwise if you have so much hope, so if I don't get selected there, my whole life is gone, then you will be very unhappy. So be prepared that, okay, I am going for this interview. If I don't get that, there are several other opportunities. It is not only interview, not only job. It may be anything in life. It may be marriage. It may be any future things in life. You movie ticket or even cricket match ticket. You go there hoping that you get a movie ticket. If you don't get too much disturbed. You be prepared that maybe there is too much rush. I will not be able to get the ticket. If you are prepared for that, then you will be quite happy in life. Be sincere and honest in your efforts. So whatever you do, try to do it honestly. Be sincere in your efforts. You will get the rewards. I mean, you don't hope that, like the Gita says, that you do your work, but don't look for the rewards. You will get the rewards automatically. Even though you are hoping that I should get my promotion next year, I am working so hard. If you don't get your promotion, don't be disturbed. You will get it. Maybe if not next year, you will get it 3 months later, 6 months later. Another thing is, give back as much as possible. I mean, it may be give back to your institute, give back to your parents, give back to your friends, as much as possible if you are able to, in terms of money or in terms of kindness, whatever it is, in kind, whatever it is, you are give back as much as possible. There is a paradigm. I mean, it's difficult. I also realized it much later. The more you give, the more you get. It is very difficult to realize that it is possible. But it happens in life. I have myself experienced it. And it says money cannot buy happiness. Okay, the more money you have, you feel that you are going to be happier. That principle is wrong. You will find the more money you have, the more problems you have. where to invest, what happens to this, how much tax I have to pay. So many things are there. Okay. To this happiness, so you remember that money is required. I mean, I'm not saying don't go after money, but money is not the only thing which is give you happiness. Is one thing. But somebody said it is better to cry, sit in a Mercedes car and cry rather than sit on a bicycle and cry. Okay. Which means you are unhappy, so you sit and cry in a Mercedes car rather than sit on a bicycle and cry. But I think it is not true. It is, if you have enough money to live your normal life, that is enough. You don't have to go for. I think this is almost the last, I think. Do physical exercises regularly. Whenever you get an opportunity, walk, run, climb stairs. If you get an opportunity to climb stairs, please climb. 2 stairs, 3 stories, whatever it is. Because unless you are physically fit, you will find that you will not be able to perform properly. And most of you, when you take up a job, you will find that you are forced to work from 10 to 12 hours a day. You will get only weekends as holidays. And those weekends, you will feel that, I worked for 5 days, let me relax for 2 days. And you are likely to skip your exercises if you have been doing. If not, please start. Ensure that you do them continuously even after you get your jobs. Actually, it seems in the olden days, people who slept very little and did not get the joys of life, I mean, forgave their joys of life or gave up their joys of life, were called saints. And today it seems they are called software engineers. So this is another thing you have to remember. Education is an admirable thing. But it's well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. Which means that you learn something in this institute, but you learn much more when you go out and work. Or not only work, I mean, when you meet people, when you start interacting with others, in life you learn much more. Learning is a continuous process. It is not that it stops at this institute. You learn till the last day of your life. I am learning something today. I have learned something from you today. Like that, you will continue to learn in your life. So, ensure that wherever you get an opportunity, you learn something new. And finally, thank you. Actually, it says, there is a saying, it says that the brain starts working the moment you are born and stops working when you stand up and start talking to an enlightened audience. I think hopefully my brain has not stopped.
So we open the floor for questions. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah. Please stand up, introduce yourself, and then ask the question.
Sir, my name is Atul. My question is regarding no roaming charges. Sir, that is only going to serve 10% of the customers, and it's only going to benefit companies who have pan-India license. So I can't see it helping, I can't see it helping any lower middle class or poor people. But still, government is projecting as if they have done something, something very big. So, sir, what are your views on that? And the local service providers will have to boost up their charges to cope up with this scenario, because definitely they are going to be in loss. So, how do you see it benefiting customer and the local service providers? And why can't we say that this bill is passed just to make the bigger players happy?
Okay. For example, today you are in Tamil Nadu. Okay. You are in Tamil Nadu. I can say that I am a resident of Chennai. I don't go to Madurai, I don't go to Coimbatore, I don't go to Trichy. Why should I pay for, okay, maybe 90% of the customers don't leave the city, within the state itself, okay. And he will say that for somebody who is going to Coimbatore or somebody who is going to Madurai, I am paying for it, okay. The same logic is getting extended through the country, okay. You don't travel to Coimbatore, but still you are paying for somebody who travels to Coimbatore or travels to Trichy. Okay. Similarly, when you travel, you treat this as one country. I mean, you treat this as a state. The country is a state. So, wherever you go, you are not charged. if some, I mean, you may not go, somebody else will go, but there is a small price. I mean, say today, if you are paying 1 paise more because somebody goes to Coimbatore and uses it, you don't go, you don't use it, that 1 paise may become 1.2 paise or 1.3 paise. That's all. It is not going to materially affect. It is not going to become 1 paise, is not going to become 2 paise. Your worry is if 1 becomes 2, then why should I pay? Correct. Then 1, it is not going to become 2. 1 may become 1.1, 1.2. That's all. As far as this, for example, Aircel, which has announced, he has not increased the tariff. He has said on my network, you can roam throughout the country. He has not increased tariff for that. So you don't have to worry that because of this, you will be paying 10% more or 20% more. It will not happen.
So I have a couple of questions. The first is regarding these telecom operators. They're acting like a cartel now and not coming to government auctions, and we are just losing out a lot. So how is the government planning to deal with these cartels? And number two, a minister in the ITU summit has made statements that the person who generates traffic has to pay for it, meaning that Google has to pay for traffic that comes to India and all. Has our minister changed his opinions on all this, or are we planning to push for all this in the ITU summit?
Okay. The first question is about cartel. No? See, when 3G spectrum was auctioned, I don't know how many of you know that, the reserve price was very low. Okay. But the final auction price which they got was maybe 15 times or 20 times the reserve price. Okay. The CAG, that is the Central Auditor General, Control and Auditor General, went into this and said that your present pricing of 2G spectrum is very low. Okay. And then said it should be somehow linked with the 3G. Not the 3G reserve price, but the 3G final auction price. So the minister sat down and then decided that to play safe, put a very high reserve price. Okay. Today, why they are not participating is the reserve price is so high that it is not possible for them to do business and earn profit. If you want to spread telecommunications, the reserve price has to be low. If your entry level is low, if you are able to put in more operators with low entry costs, then only you will find that he can provide affordable services to the customers. If he has to pay this reserve price, then the pricing which he does for your, your national roaming or your normal car charges will increase tremendously. The reserve price, the price at which the spectrum was given earlier, before this reserve price was fixed, much lower than the present reserve price. Okay. So that has to be rationalized in keeping with what is the market can afford. Okay. So they are thinking of reducing it by 50% or 25%. If nobody comes, there is enough competition. Why did they bid so much for the 3G auction? Because they felt with that money also they can make profit. Okay. Even today, a businessman, if he feels that by paying that reserve price or even twice that reserve price, I am able to make profit, I will do that business. But that reserve price is so high that it is prohibiting me from entering the business. So if that reserve price is brought to a reasonable level, which the market feels that it can afford and a businessman feels that he can invest and earn profit, definitely they will do it. The second is about Google, which you said. Okay. The idea is if somebody is providing information and making money, why should not they give a part of that to this country? Okay. If businessman makes money, we are telling we will tax you, you must pay a part of your profits as taxes. Similarly, they are thinking, but I don't think it will get implemented. But there is a thinking in the government saying that content providers who earn so much money using our networks should share some of that revenue with the government. There is a thinking, but how far it is practicable to implement it and whether where the servers are hosted abroad and whether they will pay or not is difficult. But there is a thinking that somebody who is making profit should share that profit with us also.